It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. Alrighty, folks. Welcome into the Texas to Tennessee podcast. My name's Steve. To my left is Soul Gravy. And we are super excited tonight to have Wes Shipp joining us. We're going to spend a little time chatting with him. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much for joining. Please share if you don't mind. That helps. But Wes, welcome in. Good to see you.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah, our pleasure. We've definitely been looking forward to this.
Yep.
For maybe some of our viewers who might not be super familiar with your story, do you mind just taking a couple minutes and giving us a little backstory?
Yeah, on like how the music stuff started.
Yeah, just whatever you want to share. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I spent a lot of years hitchhiking around the country and street performing. And around COVID time, there was a video that pops up on Facebook of me playing outside of this Walmart that I had hitchhiked to in Arkansas. And I was playing a Riley Green song called "I Wish Grandpa's Never Died," and it kind of blew up. And about 6 months later, I started playing around the northern Kentucky, Louisville, Cincinnati area, and I don't know, just kind of started hitting the roads real hard, man.
Yeah, but been a little bit of a wild ride since that video.
Yeah, man, I don't sleep in weird places on the weekends, anyways.
Right, for sure. One of the things we like to do, I like to get my strange question out of the way right out of the gate. Everything else will feel pretty normal after this one, but it helps us kind of figure out where you sit in your music. So
break the ice.
Yeah, a little bit. We call it the pie question, and that'll make sense here in a second. So I'm going to give you a pie, and I want you to divide it up into four pieces, if you could. So you've got one piece is the writing, one piece is recording, one piece is performing, and then the fourth piece is the business of what you deal with. So I guess first off, where do you like to spend most of your time? Kind of where do you naturally gravitate? And then maybe beyond that, which is the area that you feel like, maybe I enjoy that, but I'm really working hard to get better in that area.
Talking about like my writing?
Yeah, any of the four parts. So writing, performing, recording, and
which one's more like home and that you spend your most time on?
Man, probably being on the road and performing.
Okay.
The writing is so hit or miss for me. It happens.
Okay.
It just happens sometimes. It's happened most while I was driving. I've had Bree grab the wheel a few times, and I'll grab my phone and start typing something down. But yeah, I think performing is probably my bread and butter, and I'd like to. It seems like I write a lot now, but I'd really like to hone that a little better. And
most of your writing, is it done solo, or do you especially enjoy collaborating, or what's your kind of MO?
When I started out, I did a lot of writing by myself because a lot of the songs were really personal. I didn't know how to write outside of that realm, but lately I've been writing with a lot of other people, and it's been a lot easier for me to kind of branch out my writing style.
Yeah.
But I'm way more into co-writing than I am writing myself. I put more songs out that I've written myself, but I don't know. I haven't put out a song in a really long time, so we'll see what next year brings.
Maybe with regard to recording and the business, any thoughts on, do you enjoy the recording process? Do you enjoy having your hands in all the aspects of the business piece, or do you have somebody helping you with that? Or
So I got a guy that helps me put the songs out and whatnot. The recording part, I really enjoy it. The guys that I work with are really cool. All my single stuff that I put out, I got a guy named Zach McCord out in West Virginia that records a bunch of my stuff. And he's a magician behind the board. And then my buddy Andy Smith over in Salina, Tennessee, recorded the live album that I put out with Jason Evans, and it was a completely different feel. It was all you hit a button and press record, and you just kind of ran with it. But I really enjoy that part. It's just I don't know how much I enjoy the releasing the music, and got a mosquito in here.
Yeah, no, I get that. From a recording standpoint, when you step into the studio, do you have a pretty strong feeling on how you want something to sound, or are you more like, hey, here it is, work your magic? Or are you somewhere in between, or?
So my first 3 songs, I didn't really have a whole lot of creative control. And after that, I kind of took over that. That was a big thing for me, is having things sound how I wanted them to. But the guys that I work with are like-minded, so it kind of it makes it easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
When
And go ahead,
pulling the same rope, you got the same understanding and hit it in the same direction. You're not fighting against each other. They already know you. You know them. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my buddy Zach, man, he seems to know what direction I want to go. Every time I send him something.
Yeah, that's important to have. What about the business side of it? Any thoughts on kind of how you manage that piece?
Man, so I don't know how I manage it, to be honest. By the grace of God, man, we stay busy on the road. I can credit it a lot to me and Bree. I got a buddy named Chris Edwards that helps me out a bunch with
Nice.
Mountain View Talent. He helps me get into places and whatnot. I wouldn't say that I enjoy the business side of it, but it has to be done to gain the prize. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Totally understand. I mean, if I think about the artists that I probably enjoy the most. I'm not sure all of them love the business side of it, but it is a little bit of a necessary evil. So I get
Right.
that. So
um, so one thing we didn't touch on. You're originally from Florida, right?
Right.
So you in your I guess your writing and your style and everything, it doesn't. I mean, I know you're in the Tennessee and Kentucky and all that. You do a lot of traveling, but your sound is not the same as a lot of your buddies.
I've noticed
Do,
that,
do you
and
think that it's partly because of where you came from?
I would say so, man. I started playing in Lexington and Richmond quite a bit when I started playing out, and a lot of my buddies wrote songs about their family being in the coal mines, and that was that's what I was listening to when I started writing my own stuff. And I was like, man, none of my family worked in coal mines, but
So you'd be lying if you tried to just copy all that.
right, but I got a bunch of crazy ass family in Florida. You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Florida man is no exaggeration.
Can't be stopped. Well,
Yeah,
I do
no.
need to
But
add something in here. So
Uh-huh.
this is normally where I do the educational part of
Oh.
the podcast. So I did a very small amount of research. Crystal River, Florida is where you're from, correct?
right.
All right, got that right. Because if that wasn't right, it would screw up what I'm about ready to say. So, 4 famous folks from there that I know of. Mike Hampton, pitcher. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
From
Yeah.
the Braves?
Yep. He played for a bunch
Okay.
of teams, but people remember him from the Braves. Jerry
Okay.
Merrick, who's a pretty well-known songwriter, also
Okay.
a musician, but he wrote for, I think, maybe Guy Clark and some other folks.
Well, that's
Oh wow.
intimidating, but all right.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. And then Jack Roland Murphy, who pulled off the largest jewel heist in the United States in
Shit.
1964, still holds a record. So shout
Go
out to
Jack.
him.
I
Yeah.
bet I know some of his grandkids. They're
It
pulling
is.
heists too.
Yeah.
Family tradition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, so there's a little bit, and then Wes. So that makes 4.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Heck yeah.
there we
That's
go.
cool. Did not know that.
Uh,
Here to help.
so,
I
so
kind of
you,
knew about the Mike Hampton thing. I think I'd heard that before.
Yeah, that's cool.
I imagine that would get around in a small town. Uh, so you mentioned that acoustic album with Jason Evans. I know you got the song Front Row Seat. All right, like that's probably my favorite on that album.
Appreciate it.
Where did that? Can you tell a little bit about that song?
Yeah, man. So I was like 15 years old. I quit school. I was kind of running around with a bad crowd, and I told my mom that I had met this dude at a gas station down the road from where we lived that had a shrimp boat and was hiring deckhands. And his name was Dennis. It was funny. So his name was Dennis. My first name is Dennis, but I go by Wes. And he had my other uncle working for him, whose name was Dennis, but he went by Bubby. So there's 3 Dennises on the boat. And I knew my uncle kind of did drugs at the time, but I didn't know that everybody that was on this shrimp boat also did drugs. And I found out really quick.
Yeah.
And 2 months passed, and the job was kind of going shitty, and I wasn't really getting paid right because my boss was all messed up. And he ended up going to prison. I didn't know he was cooking. That was like a side job he was doing. He was cooking meth.
Oh boy.
And like a year before I quit, I was in a gas station going through what's called the busted paper, and it's like a newspaper, and it's got all the
Yeah.
mug shots from
Yeah.
the surrounding 3 counties.
Yeah.
And I seen the dude's son, who was like 10 years old when I was working for him. I'd seen he was going to prison for the same charge, and it was kind of one of the few eye openers I had when I quit. But it was like the circle of debauchery. I don't even know, man. It was wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what that song's about, man. It's a shrimper that I watched kind of throw his life away.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite. Like, and we talked about that album a little bit before we came on, but like, how did you and you did that with Jason W. Evans? How did y'all like come up with that idea to just? I mean, I know you probably wanted to get some material out there, but how did y'all? I mean, it kind of takes some guts just to hit record and do a show and then put it out there. Because if you listen
Yeah.
to this, for those that haven't heard the album, I mean they're bullshitting and everything in between songs. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Listen, we bought a 24-pack of Miller Lite and put it between us. We had like a fifth of Jack over to the side, and dude hit play. We
Roll.
both had to go. We both. I don't remember what we were doing after that, but we were kind of rushing. But yeah, it was. I don't even know how it came to be. I know a lot of those songs that I decided to play that day. I picked like 10 minutes before we recorded it, and
okay,
a lot of them aren't even songs that I play at shows anymore. You know what I mean?
right?
Or I didn't even play at shows. They just I needed some songs on the record, and I was picking my favorites at the time.
Th-
But
does that change a lot for you? Do you
oh
kind of
yeah,
do you
yeah.
fall in love with them songs and then out a little bit and then put back into them as
I
time
hated
goes?
playing My Old Man for like a whole year. I couldn't stand it. It just gotten so repetitive. And then somebody told me, I can't remember who it was. They were like, if you fucking hate playing that song, every night,
course.
then it's the right one. Because you're gonna play it a lot more than this.
Right.
Yeah. At least it wouldn't honky tonk but donkey donk or something like that. So
Man, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind laughing my way to the bank with that one.
okay, fair
Fair.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Funny.
Yeah, but at least it's a serious written song, a well written song. So
Right.
yeah,
I appreciate that, man.
yeah. Um, let's I want to make sure because I met you at North Springs Music Fest, and uh, I made some quick friends there. That I mean, I walked in there literally. Basically, Tony Logue was like, "Hey, you should come to this festival," and I'm like, "Okay," you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where North Springs is, or I mean, I knew you were on the bill, and I knew a couple other people, but a lot of them were not on my radar. But then you
Yeah,
got guys like like Bill Taylor and guys like that open their mouth, and you're like, okay, I'm a fan now.
man. I
Um,
said it when the power went out. I was like, Bill Taylor's the one going up. He ain't gonna need a mic. He'll be just fine.
Right.
so what happened in that situation? Was it Parker Barrow, I
Yeah,
believe? Yeah, they're her and her band were up, and they're a full blown rock and roll band. And right as their set is ending, the whole festival goes dark. Right, the transformer goes out somewhere down the line. Festival loses their power, but the band that would happen to be up next was an acoustic based band, just happened to be that way, and so Bill they just got up there, you know, with a cajon and an upright bass, a fiddle, and Bill and his guitar, and let it go, and that was a that was a that was a cool moment to for that situation. You were out in the crowd too. Just about everybody, by the way, that was on that stage. Wes was out in the crowd at some point in time, enjoying the music, just like all the attendees. So
it's one of those lineups that's definitely worth it. I like watching I like watching shows anyways, but that one holds a special place.
uh,
That's a hell of a party trick if the acoustic band pulled that on everybody. I'm
Oh
sure
man,
that's not the case, but get everybody's attention right quick.
I can't remember who went on after him, but I would have hated to be that person.
yeah,
For sure.
and the power came back on with he had a couple songs to go, and he basically asked the crowd, "Do you want us to plug in or just keep going like we're going?" And the crowd was like, yeah, just keep rolling.
That's
So,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
it couldn't
no,
have happened for a better band in a better situation for sure.
me and Bill went on the road like 2 weeks after that. Went out to Buck's Bar and Grill,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
it was the biggest crowd I've ever had with one of my own shows, other than like playing with Ward over there last year. But it was killer, man. I let him start out the show. I knew it was the right move. As soon as he opened his mouth, it was just like, and it was funny. Buck walked up to me at the start of the show, and he's like, "Man, all these Nebraska fans are coming off a loss, and they're probably drunk and mad. So we're not going to tell them to shut up tonight." And Bill made sure that we didn't have to do that.
Because as soon as he opened his mouth, they
Yeah.
paid
Oh
attention.
man, yeah, he's killer.
But and he's kind of quiet until he starts singing, which is
Yeah,
he's kind of low key. I didn't, of course I didn't know any, and then we had the Low Water Bridge Band on too. I didn't know those guys until North Springs.
yeah.
Um, I guess from your point of view, what's something different about that? If we're trying to spread the word for Dustin about that festival a little bit, what's something that's about that one that's a little bit different than some others?
It'll make you want to put your phone up and not even touch it.
Well, one, because you
Pretty
don't
awesome.
have service.
Well, for
That's
one,
one
yeah,
thing.
for one, you don't have service.
Also,
Somebody might bring a router out there, but who's to say it works?
Right.
Um, I don't know, man. Dustin knows how to pick them for one. Uh,
That's true.
and the people that come from the start have been some of the coolest, most loyal fans, coolest friends. He's built himself a following of people that believe in what he's doing. I think that helps so much. You know what I
because
mean?
they're ready to come no matter who's on the lineup.
Oh yeah, that's his village, man. They're great people too. I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that because there was the Florida tribe was there, and all different kinds of folks were, from all over the place.
Yeah,
But folks, faces that I knew from Facebook but never had a chance to meet in person. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey,
I know you.
I
I
know
actually got
you.
some
I've known
stuff
you
from
for
the
like
Florida
7
tribe.
years from Facebook. Um, Amanda, I think your cousin was one of them.
Oh yeah,
Um, so that was cool to put voices with faces.
oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Look, man. You wanna? It's about halftime. You wanna play a song, or
Yeah.
we can roll from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Um, but yeah,
Um,
if the folks that haven't paid attention to the North Springs thing, like I said, that was new to me, and I was invited there, and I'm super glad that I went and met everybody involved. Um, just like you said, it's Dustin Kennedy, and it's the North Springs Music Festival. And just I think in the spring they'll be releasing their lineup. I think it's already set for the most part already. Like it was like 2 weeks after, or a month after, and the lineup was already kind of most of the way done again. I was like, "Damn, Dustin."
Nice. Not
Uh,
wasting any
so
time.
so so he'll be on again. He'll be on sometime after the first of the year too. So pay attention
hell
or
yeah.
stay tuned for that one. So,
Cool. I'll go
all right.
silent.
So what song is this?
So I wrote this one with my buddy Billy Don Burns a couple weeks ago, and he recorded it like 3 or 4 days later in the studio, and he'll be putting it out. I don't know when, but he said real soon, hopefully soon.
Very cool.
But we wrote this at like 3 o'clock in the morning one night in Nashville, and it's about a dude that can't help but beat himself up. It's called My Own Worst Enemy.
Hmm?
It goes like this. Well, the man that's in the mirror has been putting up a fight. And ever since I can remember, damn near most of my life. Well, I've tried to call a truce, and I've tried to make amends, and it won't surprise nobody if I mess it up again. Wish I was strong as I pretend to be, but I've always been my own worst enemy. Well, I remember one time saying I'd never do this to myself, but I've been known to do things detrimental to my health. From the pistol in my pocket, this devil in my veins, and that Jim Beam on the nightstand helps to take away the pain. Hell, I'm surprised that I find time to breathe, 'cause I've always been my own worst enemy. Well, this man she raised on Jesus, he fell between the cracks. He's a slave to his addiction, and there ain't no going back. He packs up his old guitar and he heads out of some old town. He's higher than Hank Williams, and he won't be coming down. No, don't be sad and don't you cry for me. 'Cause I've always been my own worst enemy. Well, her son she raised on Jesus. He fell between the cracks. He succumbed to his addiction, and there ain't no going back. He packed up his old guitar, and he heads out of some old town. He's higher than Hank Williams, and he won't be coming down. No, don't be sad and don't you cry for me. 'Cause I've always been my own worst enemy. I've always been my own worst enemy.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to hear the Billy Don's version of that.
Billy
now.
turned it into a cowboy song. It's
Really?
completely different than my version.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, that's that's
So I think the guy's name is Jeff Williams, and Jeff Williams played the lead guitar on all the new Johnny Cash stuff that got dropped this year.
okay.
Very
And
cool.
Jeff's playing all the cowboy licks in his version.
Gotcha. How did how did you meet Billy Don and that relationship start? I mean, that's got to be pretty intimidating. I mean, Billy Dunn's kind of been there, done that, seen everything twice.
Man, me and Billy Don met 7 years before we met the second time and didn't even realize it. Like the first time I was living on a hippie commune in Tennessee, and we had festivals there every month. And Billy Don, Whey Jennings, two of my band members, Thomas Gabriel and Cagney Frizzell, I met all of them. And Josh Morningstar was there too, I think.
Okay.
But I met all of them before I realized I met them because I wasn't really paying attention to music back then. And we were all kind of fucked up in our own ways back then. But Billy Don was the first. So I got to open for him a few Halloweens ago. It was like 2020 or 2021. It was one of the two.
Right.
But I got to open for him on a Halloween night in a garage in Indiana, and at this campground that my buddy Brian Franklin runs. But I don't know. I wanted to cut one of his songs after that, and we started playing a bunch of shows together. And then I ended up recording Lonesome 77203 a few months after that. And then he asked me to be on his record that he just put out last year, which was a pretty cool project, man. He had Cody Jenks on there, and Shooter Jennings, and Whey Jennings, and Story Boys, and Hackshaw Hawkins Jr. It was a cool record.
That says a lot as far as the range of folks that he can pull in like that, and not just pull in to play on his record, but also folks that I know like Jinx is pretty close to him, and and Josh Morningstar refers to him as like a brother. I mean, then you talk so highly of him, and it seems like the folks that are in his camp aren't just kind of a little bit in his camp, like they're all the way in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said,
You either love him or you don't.
Well, it seems like it's the other way around too, coming back from him.
Oh yeah. Billy's real as they come, man.
Yeah.
He demands respect. He doesn't even have to say nothing.
I got that vibe too. That's why maybe one day we'll have
You ever
him on.
watched the
But
coolest
shit,
motherfucker walk into a room before? I've only seen it when Billy Don does it.
you got something to talk about?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
So I don't know. This might be too much inside baseball, but what do you all make an agreement when you write the song that like, hey, one of you is gonna cut it, or is it? I'm just curious how the situation
Uh,
rolls down because it sounds like that'd be a fun one for you to cut too.
so I'm probably gonna cut it afterwards, or I got a version of us writing it in his living room that I might drop after his comes out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's a really really special recording, and I've been really contemplating just putting that version out.
Cool.
But
I
yeah,
also
no,
feel
it's just like with Whey, kind of. There's no real agreement. Like we've written some where, like a 10-day run that was on his new record. I was supposed to record it. It was either I record it or he puts it out. He put it out on his record last year. And I kind of dicked off for a whole year and didn't do nothing with it. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna put it out on this record. You can just put it out later."
yeah,
So I don't
that's
know.
cool.
It's, whatever happens.
So I'd heard this, well, I should say when I heard the song, if it I felt like maybe had a pretty big I don't know, like Ward Davis influence. I mean, that's what came to my brain when I heard that song.
Yeah,
Did you?
definitely.
Yeah.
I've
Which
gotten
is,
that a few times. Listen, and being on the road with him so long last year, I tried to get out of the realm of it a few times. I feel like whoever you put yourself around is
yeah,
you definitely pull from them. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's normal.
You can't help to you can't help but to do that. I feel like.
A lot of the folks that we've spent time chatting with on here talk about how they, just like turn off everything when they're writing.
Oh
I don't
God,
know.
you have to, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and Ward being one of my favorites, like, uh, it's kind of like lately, man. I've been writing a lot of stuff in Drop D because I've been listening to a lot of Stephen Wilson Jr.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
he's great.
Yeah.
So I've been throwing away a lot of songs because they sound like Stephen Wilson Jr. songs.
I understand. But just save them for later.
Well, I mean, him and Ward both are kind of tall, and then they got the beard, and then they also though they're in a country music world, but their voices aren't like they're more smooth than they are just
Yeah.
straight country. So like you guys have a lot of similarities, no matter what, just in general. And I know you're buddies as well, but I thought the same thing too. Like if you would have said Ward Davis and you co-wrote that song, I would not have been surprised either. I think it's the music part of it
A little
too,
bit.
and
Yeah. The
maybe the
melody
phrasing
similar.
of yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But beautiful song, man. Can't wait to hear.
listen, that song sounds completely different when Billy does it, and I feel like that's such a weird. And I talked to Clint Park about that once because him and Jenks and Ward wrote that what was
Wounded
that one
Mind.
they wrote together? Wounded Mind,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they all do it different. Like if
Yep.
you pay
which
attention to
is
them,
great.
all play, yeah, and
Appreciate
Clint would
that.
be like, "Whoa, I fucking hate how Cody cut that song, and that's not how I'd sing it." Uh, and I
We'll
got
take
what he
all
was
three.
saying.
But Cody's not going to get on the piano and play it either.
No.
No.
Right. So
Me
that's
and
just
Creed Fisher wrote one together, and I, it was me, Creed, and my buddy Jared Hill, and we all do it completely different. And for a while, I fucking hated on Creed's version of it. I was like, I don't fucking like how he phrases this one. And I've grown to like it
it's
since
just
then because I understood where Clint was coming from when he said that.
well, I imagine that is even if you're co-writing a song, it can be personal, and then um, and you got three different people with three different styles. You're not trying to copy each other, so you're not always gonna love exactly what happens on the other side because it's partly your baby too. You're invested.
Right.
Also, I didn't know Jared. You and Jared were buddies too. I met him when I was on TikTok, or got started on TikTok. He was one of the first folks that I met. He's an Alabama guy, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love Jared.
yeah.
Me and him partied a bunch before.
I'm, he actually traveled through and played in Dyersburg up the road, and I made our band played a party. I mean, I think a wedding or something, and I was like, okay, when I'm getting out of here quick because I'm gonna go catch at least the end of Jared's set
Oh,
down the road.
Dyersburg, man, I played in Dyersburg before.
I think you did something with my buddy and some stuff he was doing.
Ronnie,
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep.
Ronnie
Redheaded
Lauer.
Ronnie. Yep. Yeah. I can't remember where you played. I think maybe Jared played the same place.
So it was that. So remember that church that they
Okay.
had? It
No.
was
No.
like an
No.
event. I can't remember the
Yeah.
name of it, but I played Tapped over there in
Yeah.
Dyersburg too.
That's where Jared played that night. Yeah.
You setting up this
Yeah.
ring light so I stop pacing?
Yes, because your lighting sucks on the line feed.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Um. No. You were talking about like the way people do songs, like Morningstar and Brent Cobb had their song, was it "Living the Dream"? But theirs are actually really, really similar. But they kind of rap and rhyme in their songs anyway, in a lot of times. So, but theirs
They're
are,
both super similar to each other.
yeah. So I could see where those would be, and then like you said, just depends on who the two artists are.
You can kind of hear
I think it might be
where Josh and Billy Don kind of phrase things similar sometimes.
I didn't pick up on that, but I guess I could
So
see
it's
that.
it's almost like that cool singing talking thing where it's like the in between. I don't know how to explain it, but those two do it perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, but if they were to, as far as Josh anyway, if he was to release a rap record, I wouldn't be surprised at all the way he sings. He's really good at that part of it.
Yeah, no, he could do it.
I got a couple questions though in the different chats. Our buddy Steve, he wanted to know if is there anybody that you haven't been able to co-write with that you would like to.
Ooh, Wes Bayless.
Okay.
I like to rock with Wes. The other Wes.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Him, and I'd like to write with Adam Hood. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, two good choices there.
Yeah.
Two of my favorites, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I wish I was there at the show this Friday night, but
Yeah.
yeah. And the other was advice that you would give your 10-year-old self.
My 10-year-old self.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah.
Cynthia
Quit
with a
hockey
hard
earlier and buy a guitar earlier. I would have started playing guitar a lot earlier had I known. I played hockey for a lot of years, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I feel like I wasted about 8 years of my life when I could have been playing music.
What position did you play?
I was a goalie for about 4 years,
Okay.
and I played center for about 4 years.
Oh wow. All right. Very cool. So are you a Panthers fan?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Panthers
they're
fan by
really
heart.
good, man.
Panthers fan by heart, and I'm a Washington Capitals fan because of Ovechkin.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, I guess let's make sure we talk about some stuff you got coming up in 2025. Even if we got more questions after that, let's make sure.
Yeah,
we
let
talk
me
about it.
grab. I'm grabbing my calendar out right now so I can, just in case I forget some stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Holy cow!
Hold on.
There we go.
you're famous
Write
now.
it down.
There we go.
Paparazzi. I mean,
I have
you're
not
going.
been drinking tonight, officer.
Yeah. You've got some shows coming up with some pretty cool folks and some pretty cool venues coming up in 2025, and then
Some I haven't even announced yet, man. January, February, March are going to be awesome.
Very cool, very cool. So you're going from kind of laying back a little bit to after the first being
Getting after it.
being busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we got some really cool places that we're lined up for. And your phone just died.
But yeah, I know you've got shows with Tennessee Jet.
Bucks.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, where would be the where are you most active as far as social media? Instagram, is that pretty much? Well,
Facebook, man.
both
I'm
of them.
more active on Facebook. I got it all, the X or Twitter or whatever. But yeah, Facebook and
Facebook.
whatever goes to Facebook goes to Instagram, I guess.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Do you got anything else we want to get to, Talbot?
You know what? I
There we
think I want to ask some rapid fire questions.
Hell yeah, shoot.
You good with that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Desert Island album. You get to pick
Man,
one.
that's tough.
Oh
One.
man, Protect Your Neck from Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, Wu-Tang. All right, there you go. That's a first.
And
I'll
then,
definitely take that.
okay. All right.
Dinner with one historical figure.
Elvis Presley.
All right. Oh,
Okay.
Elvis, nice. Ideal green room.
I picked him because she's standing next to me. I can't pick a girl.
Oh, smart. Ideal green room for you.
Ideal green room, like the perfect place or perfect items.
Both. Why don't you describe it for me?
Man, I really want to see what the Red Rocks green room looks like, with only blue M&Ms.
Right.
And,
I think they pay attention to details.
and that stuff that's super legal over there. A bunch of it.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna speak that into existence.
Okay.
There you go. Well, that kind of feeds into one of the questions that I have. Do you have a bucket list venue that you want to play?
Red Rocks is definitely there. Machine Shop would be cool in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Let me think. Louisiana Grandstand in Shreveport's definitely one I've been looking at.
Cool.
And Floribama.
Yeah. All great choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different ones though than one we've had. So
Yeah. Normally, our standard one is, I mean,
the Red
it's
Rocks.
pretty rare somebody doesn't say Red Rocks, which if you've ever
Oh,
been,
yeah.
it makes sense, right? So,
Oh yeah.
first concert and then the first concert that you paid for.
First concert. I was really young and I was taken to see Metallica. I think it was.
Oh, wow.
I was really, really young. That's
Very cool.
All right. What's the
Under
first one
10.
What's the first one you went to as a
First one that I paid
young
for.
adult or whatever?
Yeah.
First one as an adult. Damn. That I can remember. Probably A Day to Remember.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
It was a home show in Ocala that they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How far is Ocala from where you're from?
45 minutes, an hour.
Okay, so it's relatively close. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then my last question is tribute bands, yay or nay?
Depends on if they're midgets or not. If they're midgets, I'm with it. I didn't mean for that to rhyme either.
No.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's hard not to.
That's the Wu-Tang thing coming out.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I don't know. I guess if I would have to go see a Little Kiss show, I guess that would have
They're
to
actually killer, man. I got a buddy that goes and sees them quite a bit.
yes. Well, that's all right. All right. So now it's my turn to ask the most important question of the evening, Wes. It started out as a joke on episode 1, and here we are, all these episodes later, and now it is a requirement that we ask. Wes, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Ooh, we got a box of them. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hang tight.
He's got proof.
I think I threw it away.
I like proof.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I threw it away because he ate them all.
Yeah, good
But
point.
they were gone.
Christmas tree cakes, bro. Christmas tree cakes.
All right.
There it is.
Seasonal motherfuckers. Hey, the Christmas tree Nutter Butters are good too.
Okay, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, no,
I
Christmas
saw
tree cakes. all the way.
I saw fudge round donuts earlier.
I'm not
today,
big on
so-
fudge rounds, man. Too much chocolate.
No, that's well, I like all of them, so I don't discriminate.
Mosquitoes.
But no, I saw that.
Babies.
Yeah, I saw the like a zebra cake version and a fudge round version of the little Debbie
I fuck with
donuts.
zebra cakes quite a bit too, man.
Well,
Yeah, it's an easy transition
that's the
to
Christmas,
Christmas
cousin,
tree.
anyway.
Right? Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
makes
they're
sense.
super similar.
Yeah, for sure. For
All right,
sure.
Wes. Well, I've been trying to get you to come on this thing, and for a little bit. I'm glad you did. I know you mentioned you're gonna try to do some more of these. Kind of get going, and
Yeah,
I think that'll be a good deal. If there's anything we can do to help with
you and
these,
Dustin are the first two podcasts, so
well,
hopefully
Nice.
do some more.
so you make sure to grill Dustin in the chat when he comes on with some tough questions. Then we can
Hell
repay
yeah.
the favor. Yeah.
Hey, and just want to let everybody out there know tomorrow we play our last full band show in
right.
Hillsboro, Ohio, at the Patriot Public House. And I'll have my key player, and everybody will be there. It'll be a really good time.
When you go out in 2025, as of right now, is that gonna be mostly acoustic shows, or is it gonna be
If I play
both, or what?
festivals, I'm gonna try to keep the festivals full band. But
Gotcha.
unless I get somebody that can keep me pretty busy with the band, it's too much to book by myself.
Yeah.
Chris Edwards will probably throw me on some pretty cool stuff. I got some festivals lined up that we're doing full band. So our first full band show in 2025 is opening for, who was it?
What?
I like the women just a little on the track.
Confederate Railroad.
Oh, Confederate Railroad, yeah. We're opening for Confederate Railroad at the Everglades Seafood Festival
That'll be fun.
in
Okay.
Everglades City, yeah. And Whey Jennings plays the night before. So we'll probably hop up there with him too.
I got you. That's cool. Cool deal. All right, man. Well, Wes, like I said, we appreciate you coming on. Is there anything we can do, to share whatever, and if there's any other podcast or whatever, we can try to help with whatever you need. So,
Hell yeah. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thanks, Wes, man. Good to meet you.
yes, sir.
Hey, good to meet you too, brother.